clap.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, can you hear me? No.
Hello and welcome to the Lowdown, our mini online show. I'm here, Flats isn't here. COVID has taken him down for the weekend, but he is online and he's joining us. We're talking derbies this weekend, a lot of big fixtures. Flats, any that stand out for you? Big derby memories?
In the West Country, Topsy, you might not know this, but if you've got a bit of a gut, bit of a tummy, it's called a derby. It's called a darb. I've never known why, but whenever it was derby week, whenever the big props walked past, or some of the chubbier hookers, the boys would say derby, derby week, derby, and we were called Derby for the whole week. Got some great derby memories and some rubbish ones. Winning at Kingsholm once or twice was great in the sort of more abrasive days of winning at Kingsholm when Andy Hazel was fully on one and you still managed to win anyway. Those are great days. Also remember, unfortunately, some of the days that stick out are the days where it didn't go so well. So, I played in the first Bath team to lose to Bristol at the Rec and popped my shoulder and was out for 10 months. A couple of minutes to go in that game, playing out of position. I thought I just about survived it. Lost the game. Also that season, I think it was that season, the first Bath team to lose to Gloucester at the Rec in the Premiership as well. So it's funny that the bad memories, I don't know if it says something about me, but the bad memories stick out way more clearly. Remember them with way more clarity than the good ones. How about you?
Yeah, that's definitely you. I'm the opposite. I'm the good ones. I'm a couple against Quins at Twickenham more recently. 2017, might have scored in that one. I think we put 4 tries on Sarries quite a few years ago, scored in that one too. Actually, we played Saracens in New York, which was amazing, incredible. And actually one that stands out, Premiership semi-final against Harlequins at the Stoop. Quietest I've ever heard the place. That was that was a good day. Right, let's have a look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. On Friday night, we had the East Midlands derby with Leicester Tigers taking on Northampton Saints, with London Irish heading down the M4 to face the Bristol Bears. Saturday, 3 games, Exeter Chiefs against Gloucester, Sale versus Worcester, the return of Steve Diamond, and Wasps against Bath, and the final game of the round, a London derby, Saracens against Harlequins at the Stonex.
Topsy, decent run out for the Exiles Friday night. You're neutral, so I won't ask you what pleased you, but what did you like most about their performance? Well, actually, let's face it, their hammering of Bristol Bears.
They're hammering, your words, not mine. I'll tell you what I really liked. I liked that they showed both sides to their game. So for probably about 50 minutes, a lot of rearguard action. Bristol were hammering away at the line and they didn't quite get there. A lot of turnovers, a lot of exits. And then from 50 minutes on, the attack just lit up. Yes, there was a red card, but some of the play is what you would want to see, how you want to see rugby played. Moving the ball to the space, playing at pace as well, scoring some brilliant tries. So they're getting that balance right between obviously the defensive stuff and the attacking play as well, turning themselves into a really difficult team to play against. And after that big win at Ashton Gate, I had a little chat with Nick Phipps.
Nick Phipps, how are you? Have you recovered physically and mentally from that roller coaster of a game? I mean, it was incredible to watch and it must be great to play in as well, especially when you come out on the winning side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's going to be a bit sore today after such a quick, fast game to both sides of the field. But I think, like you said, it feels a little bit better after actually scratching out, getting a win. It was a late one last night getting back on the bus from Bristol, but I think we've got a longer turnaround this week, which is great. So everyone will be getting ready, getting the body ready together on Monday for the big week ahead of Saracens.
Yeah, I mean, Irish's attack is flourishing at the minute. What do you guys work on? What are some of the principles that you try and put into place in the week building up to a game like that?
Les is really he's hard on us about having our shape and having our principles in our attack, but also having the freedom to be able to see the space and pull the trigger. I think our shape, the way we play, the style we play, it's very exciting, but you're only as good as being able to see the space and execute when we need to. I think last night we got the ball in play a lot more than last week, where we struggled a little bit. So that sort of got us into the game a little bit. But yeah, when you got some exciting players, especially like our back three, and got some big boys rumbling up the middle, then it sort of makes life a little bit easier for me and Paddy to sort of lead them around.
Yeah, and you personally, you look like you're really enjoying your rugby at the minute. How are you enjoying life in London and at London Irish?
Yeah, it's great. I'm having a great time. Me and my family really settled here, having a great time. Very, very happy with the direction the club's heading. I'm enjoying working with all the boys. When you come into work every day and you're all sort of aligned and heading in one direction, it makes life pretty easy, doesn't it? So, hopefully we can keep building. We've got a few more games left in this season to I guess see where we can land. It's in our own destiny at the moment, and if we just keep treating every game like it comes, then hopefully we'll be right up the pointy end at the back end of the season.
Thanks, Nick. Good luck, and see you again soon.
Too easy, mate. Thank you.
Leicester have won it underneath the firework display by 35 points to 20.
So a big East Midlands derby win for the Leicester Tigers. And yeah, maybe they've had a few bumps in the road over the last few weeks, but back to what they've done so well this season, which is be very physical, be very aggressive in the contact, win a load of breakdown turnovers, kick really well, chase really well, and expand their attack when they've needed to. Freddie Burns was class up front, they were very powerful, and they just put in a really dominant Friday night performance. And Flats, a couple of individuals really stood out for you.
They did, yeah. I enjoyed watching Jasper Wiese for different reasons from the reasons I enjoyed watching him when he first arrived. He was just all about work rate on Friday night, and there were some big ball carries. Of course there were. There was lots of abrasiveness, lots of confrontation. Of course there was, but there were 19 tackles made, none missed, loads of counter-rucking, loads of good maul work. The sort of game that leaves you with cauliflower ears and a skinned face, doing so much work in those sweaty, sort of dark, sandy, muddy areas that when he wakes up the morning after, his face will be stuck to his pillows. That's when you know you've had a good day up front. I really enjoyed watching him. But Julian Montoya, the Argentine hooker, I'm trying to think of a guy. I mean, there are lots of players in the Gallagher Premiership who get talked about more than Montoya, but I'm not sure there are any actually consistently doing as much high-quality work. There might be one or two at Quins, to be fair, but just he does everything. So what do you want for a modern hooker? Does he scrum real good and throw lineouts real good? Yeah, he does. Will he batter you if you run into him? Yeah, big old unit. Doesn't mind a big hit at all. Does he have a good tackle count, carry count? Yes. Jackal, brilliant. Jackling was fantastic Friday night. Arguably the best part of his game. Big moments, number of involvements, work rate, error count is tiny. Just really, really involved, really gnarly, durable. And I wonder, if he's not the best bit of recruitment that's been done in the Gallagher Prem, not in recent times, that's putting it out too far. We've had some wonderful players, but if he's not the best bit of recruitment Leicester Tigers have done, in terms of the last two seasons, I wonder who is. They've done a lot of good recruitment there, but I think he might be the number one guy. And actually, for those of you watching at home or wherever you're watching it, on your device or out and about, wherever you are, let us know in the comment section who you think the best player your club ever signed was. I mean, we're all for academy projects and players coming through and all that, and locally grown stuff, locally grown players. We like that. We love that. That's the most important bit. But let's talk about the sort of almost the luxury signings. Someone bringing someone in from elsewhere. Who's the best your club's ever signed? Because at the moment, there aren't many in the Premiership to rival Montoya.
Really good win for Sale. They march forward.
Wasps have gone 4 straight in the Premiership.
The Chiefs emerge victorious, 24 points to 15.
So we talk a lot about how competitive the Gallagher Premiership is, and if you look at the results on Saturday, you've got Sale winning, you've got Exeter winning, you've got Wasps winning, teams desperate to get into that playoff mix. It is so competitive. We see some unbelievable rugby week in, week out. We don't know what's going to happen. So let's ask Flats. Flats, how are we going to separate this pack and figure out who's going to end up in that playoff mix?
Don't know. Brexit. Who voted in, who voted out? That's how I think we should do it. Do a report. The sort of the teams that needed to win, you could argue Bath need a win, but there's no relegation. So do they really? And are they going to challenge for the playoffs? Very doubtful indeed. So you could argue they would love a win, but didn't really need one. Wasps sort of need to get winning if they want to push for playoffs. They pulled off some brilliant victories the last month or so. So that felt significant. Some lovely stuff happened up there in about the last 10 or 15 minutes. Up until then, it wasn't great. Sale Sharks really beat up Worcester Warriors, and that's a game they were supposed to win and did. So it's not a massive story, but I think Sale just quietly are really starting to pick up. They've got some key guys back, not just Faf and Manu, but Cobus Visa makes a big difference. coming back. He had a really good game at the weekend against Worcester. And down at Sandy Park, for me, the most significant result of the weekend was that one, because Exeter have been way more inconsistent than we're used to seeing them. Gloucester flying high in a great spot, and Exeter Chiefs kind of went back to formula and beat them up a little bit, scored from in close a little bit, but also carved them through the middle for their Flaherty try, and basically did enough damage through the middle that tightened up that Gloucester defence and hammered them out wide with Ollie Woodburn popping in unopposed, so they did a job on them in that second half, and I think they needed to do that.
So there was one final game on Sunday. It was Saracens against Harlequins. Here are the best bits.
Just for a little bit of extra power. There it is! Once again, it's the hooker. Away goes White. Held and then driven back. Kerr darts one way, darts the other, slides over. Brilliant from Danny Kerr. Manavunipola finds Good, finds Maitland, finds the line. My words, that is a scrummage to be proud of. This for Lazowski to seal the deal. Through it goes. 9 points clear and only a handful of seconds remaining.
Well, that's another good win for Saracens, keeping them in second place and hot on the heels of the Leicester Tigers. But look at the middle of the table, 5th to 9th, separated by just a few points. It's going to be a thrilling end to the season. And let's have a quick look ahead to the fixtures coming up next weekend. 3 of those games which will be live on BT Sport. Friday night we've got Worcester against Bristol, Saturday it's Bath against Leicester, and Sunday it's Newcastle Falcons against the Exeter Chiefs.
Right, all good stuff. Now it's time for our favourite part of the show, the Grassroots Beauts, this time in a match between Pinley and Leamington.
So, Leamington scrum, George Jacobs, the number 9, controlled by Ali Whedon, involving Jacobs again. This is Sam Nunn, outside to centre, Harry Johnson, winger Connor Chamberlain adding some impetus, neatly avoiding the referee as well. Ed Gray keeps it alive. Ooh, that is lovely to Gareth Shuttleworth. And now James Dunn. Where's this taking us? Here's Louis Harvey, and he's taking us all the way to the line. What Leamington are all about. Magical.
I like that, hell of a try. I like the Gray offload in midfield out the back, the old chicken wing. That's probably the best bit, the cap flat, whatever you want to call it. But really, for me, I like it because it makes me want to go back and play a bit of amateur rugby. If I didn't have COVID, if it didn't work at weekends, I'd be out there. But also because it all came from a solid set piece, which really, Topsy, is what we're all here for.
Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? Hey, could have been Leamington, could have been France. Great rugby. We love to see it. Right, that's all we've got time for this weekend. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.